from around the world. Welcome! Today on August 26, 2025, we gather here for a truly historic moment, the official launch of Ark. Over the past month, we started from nothing and together built a global community. Tens of thousands of names have been inscribed into the Genesis whitelist. Countless discussions, trainings, and gatherings have taken place across region. What began in one corner is now spread across the world. Meanwhile, the builders work day and night, forging the framework of governance in code, shaping the economic model with intellect and vision. Every single line of contract stands as a promise to the future. Ark is not just a blockchain. It is a transparent order, an adaptive system, a new kind of social infrastructure where trust is written into code, not just left to words. And today, we are not merely witnesses, we are participants. We are co-creators. At this, the moment, Genesis ignites, the Ark has set sail.
Imagine a civilization that doesn't begin with rules or governments, but with code. A place where trust is not handed to politician or institution, but it's built directly into systems that everyone can see and verify. That's what Ark Defai represents. Not just another blockchain, but the foundation of a new kind of digital civilization. And today, I would like to share why Ark's economy is unique, how it shapes the future of decentralized AI, how its community is growing worldwide, and why its Genesis node marks the dawn of something extraordinary. Most blockchain economies are fragile. They grow fast, but they are built on speculation, and many eventually collapse. Ark took a different path. It built its economy on code that adapts, balances, and sustains itself. Think of Ark's economy like a living system. It has different parts working together, all powered by code. One part controls when new tokens are created, preventing uncontrolled inflations. Another part keeps the system balanced, reducing wild swings in price. A third recycles revenue back into the ecosystem, so value never goes to waste. And others act as a safeguard, making sure supplies always matches real assets, and the system stays sustainable over time. Together, this mechanism forms something truly unique. Not an economy based on promises, but on rules written in code. An economy that doesn't just exist, but one that can endure. Why does this matter? Because Ark is at the center of two unstoppable forces: decentralization and artificial intelligence. We are entering a world where money, governance, and society won't rely on traditional institutions. Instead, they will be guided by systems of code. Systems that can test different scenarios, measure risks instantly, and adapt faster than any human commit ever could. Imagine a treasury that runs like an autonomous brain, currencies that stabilize itself, and policies that change in real time to keep the whole system strong. That's what DeFi makes possible. This is more than finance. It's about rethinking how humanity coordinates, not through borders and politics, but through transparent, intelligent system of code. But civilization is not just technology, it's people. And the Ark's community is growing rapidly across the globe, with support from strategic partners and builders from many major protocols. Ark has attracted engineers, researchers, and innovators from many different fields. And together, we are shaping this new digital society. And what's powerful is this. In Ark, you are not a spectator. You are a citizen. You can stake, you can vote, you can even stimulate governance decisions with AI and see the impact before they happen. This is not a passive community. It's active and borderless. And it's becoming the backbone of a digital nation with not on paper's constitution, but on code. Every civilization has a creation story. Ark, it begins with the Genesis node. The launch of this node was not just another milestone. It was the Genesis signal, the moment a new kind of digital civilization was born. These nodes are the foundation, the starting point where AI, governance, and community meet. And they are just the beginning. Over the next decade, Ark's roadmap is ambitious. Building a strong modular economy today, intelligent governance by 2027, a decentralized digital cities by 2030, and by 2035, a federation of self-evolving societies across multiple blockchains. The Genesis nodes are not just servers, they are seeds, and from these seeds, an entire civilization built of code will grow. So, let me leave you with this thought. Ark is more than a project. It's a vision of what society could look like if we were built transparencies, intelligence, and code, rather on politics, secrecy, or chance. Its economy is alive, its governance is adaptive, its community is autonomous. And Genesis nodes mark the very first sunrise of this new civilization. The future of DeFi is not on the horizon. It already began. And Ark is the ark that will carry us. Thank you.
Good day everyone and welcome to the New York session of the Ark Mainnet Launch Live broadcast. Now I'm your host Michael Stevens and I'm delighted to be here with you today. Now we're joined by two distinguished guests to explore the future of Ark. First we have Mr. Jonathan Reeves, Senior Partner and Head of Strategy in Morgan Crest Foundation, and he will share why the foundation chose to support Ark. Joining us as well is Mr. Daniel Harrington, a veteran Wall Street investor who has been involved in numerous international projects, and he will offer his professional perspective on Ark and its long-term potential. First, let's welcome Mr. Jonathan Reeves, Senior Partner and Head of Strategy at the Morgan Crest Foundation. Now, Jonathan, it's a real pleasure to have you with us today. The Morgan Crest Foundation is well known for its long-term strategic investments, and so could you possibly start by sharing your core investment philosophy?
Of course. Thank you, Michael, for the invitation. At the Morgan Crest Foundation, our philosophy has always revolved around three pillars. First, the convergence of artificial intelligence and Web3, where technology is not just a tool, but the foundation for new governance models. Second, the advancement of decentralized governance, where systems are driven by algorithms and consensus rather than centralized power. Third, the building of civilization-level infrastructure, systems capable of engaging millions of participants, continuously evolving and scaling. We believe that only when these three elements come together can we truly begin experimenting with what we call a digital civilization.
That's very clear. So essentially the foundation is always seeking projects that can underpin a digital civilization naturally. So that leads us to the question, why, amongst so many projects, did you actually choose to actually support Ark?
Ark embodies that vision perfectly. It is not merely a financial protocol. It is a long-term institutional experiment. Its core architecture consists of the kernel and 5 interlinked modules: issuance, stabilization, buybacks, mint limit control, and runway monitoring. Together, they function like the 5 economic ministries of a nation, allowing the economy to be self-sustaining. Most importantly, Ark's economy isn't based on short-term hype or speculation. It is grounded in adaptive rules written into code, meaning the system can sustain itself over time without relying on slogans or market sentiment.
I see. So Ark isn't about hype. It's about encoding stability into the rules themselves. So from a structural standpoint then, how does Ark differ from traditional DeFi?
In the last 5 years, many DeFi protocols have relied on single mechanisms or purely on community belief. Their life cycles rose and fell entirely with market sentiment. Ark has taken a different path. It integrates 5 modules into a unified economic engine. It incorporates AI-driven governance, enabling faster and more scientific decision-making. It secures the system with permanently locked LP tokens, transparent multi-signature treasury management, and fully open-source contracts, eliminating the risks of human manipulation. These design choices make Ark one of the few protocols that can answer the 2 essential questions. Is it safe, and can it last?
Fascinating. So most projects can be escaped being short-lived or opaque. but Ark is actually tackling those issues head on with AI and modular design. So, looking ahead, what are your expectations for Ark's future?
We see three major directions for Ark in the next decade. Firstly, evolving from a protocol into an on-chain nation, not just a financial protocol, but a digital polity with its own governance, economy, and citizens. Secondly, forming a federation of AI plus DAO civilizations, extending across multiple blockchains to create an interconnected digital federation. Thirdly, becoming a critical layer of global digital sovereignty infrastructure, much like the internet today, serving as the foundation for other protocols and applications. This is not just a technological breakthrough. It is a redefinition of governance and civilization itself.
Well, that's an ambitious vision. Ark is something far greater than a protocol. So finally, let me ask, what role will Morgan Crest Foundation play in this journey?
I want to stress this. The Morgan Crest Foundation is not just a financial backer, we are co-builders. We are committed to accompanying Ark through an institutional evolution and treasury governance. Beyond resources, we will provide long-term strategic guidance to help it remain resilient through challenges. And on this journey, we intend to walk alongside developers, communities, and builders worldwide.
Thank you, Jonathan, for that thoughtful perspective. And from what we've heard, Ark is not just another DeFi project. It is a civilizational experiment. It has infrastructure, it has governance, and it also has the AI-driven intelligence. And crucially, it has the long-term backing of institutions like the Morgan Crest Foundation. Ladies and gentlemen, we are honored to welcome a very special guest, Mr. Daniel Harrington, a veteran Wall Street investor. Now, he has been involved in numerous high-profile international projects and brings deep expertise in DeFi, AI, and decentralized governance. Today, he'll be sharing his professional perspective on Ark and what makes it different. Daniel, welcome to our live session. Now, it's a real pleasure to have you here with us. To start, as a long-term investor who has seen countless projects, what is it about Ark that attracts you?
Thank you, Michael. Over the course of my career, I've looked at hundreds of DeFi projects. Most of them are either short-term speculation plays or lack institutional framework to endure. Ark stood out to me for three reasons. First, its vision. It defines itself not just as a protocol, but as a civilizational experiment. That ambition is far beyond the average project. Design. Its 5 economic modules are embedded in code, ensuring structural self-consistency rather than relying on human discretion. And then third, AI integration. Ark introduces AI consensus layer. This means governance is no longer dependent on slow, human-driven processes. Instead, AI can simulate scenarios, forecast risk, and provide real-time guidance, allowing the protocol to anticipate challenges rather than simply react. For me, Ark isn't just an investment, it's a live experiment testing whether AI plus DeFi can truly form the backbone of a digital society.
Very interesting. So in your view, Ark is more than a financial tool. It's an exploration at a level of civilization. So how does that compare with traditional DeFi protocols?
Most traditional DeFi protocols rely on a single mechanism or are entirely dependent on community sentiment. They rise during bull markets, but they collapse just as quickly in downturns. Ark is different. It integrates 5 modules: EM, RBS, YRF, MCL, and RCM into a single, coherent economic engine. What really sets it apart is the AI governance. AI tracks market premiums and participant behavior. It simulates the impact of policy changes and issues risk alerts before crisis emerges. It transforms Ark from being into reactive to being proactive, adaptive. This AI modular economic architecture is something traditional DeFi protocols simply don't have.
Exactly. Now, most protocols are reactive and short-lived. So that brings us to another critical point, which is security and resilience. So how does Ark address those?
Ark has taken what I'd consider the strongest safeguard in the industry. First, LP tokens are permanently locked. Rug pulls are impossible. Treasury managed via multi-signature. Every transaction is transparent and executed through DAO governance. Third, fully open source contracts. Every line of code is visible with no hidden backdoors. As for resilience, Ark has two unique strengths. First, structural design. The emission module and rebase system operate like the breathing system of the protocol, balancing issuance and incentives, and then AI oversight. The AI consensus layer continuously monitors market and community data, offering predictive policy guidance so the system can adjust proactively. In short, Ark answers what I call the 5 existential questions of DeFi: sustainability, stability, transparency, adaptability, and community ownership. And importantly, it answers all AI-driven.
That's a comprehensive framework. So let's look ahead now from your perspective as an investor. How do you evaluate Ark's long-term potential?
What excites me most is that Ark is not just a financial protocol. It is a blueprint for a digital civilization. It has a treasury, governance, insurance mechanisms, deflationary controls, and even a civic economy. Combined with AI models, these systems allow Ark to evolve beyond the influence of any single team and become truly self-adaptive infrastructure. I see Ark representing the next stage in Web3's evolution, from protocols, economics, civilization, with AI acting as the neutral executor and forecaster, ensuring the system doesn't stagnate but continuously evolves. That's why I believe Ark's long-term potential is extraordinary. It has a chance to become the foundational layer of future digital societies, just as the internet is indispensable in our world today.
Thank you, Daniel, for those powerful insights. Now, from your perspective, we can see clearly that Ark is not just another DeFi project. It is indeed a bold civilizational experiment, using AI and modular economic designs to answer the 5 existential questions of DeFi while pushing the boundaries of what a decentralized system can achieve. So Ark's launching is more than a technical milestone. It marks the beginning of a new era. All right, everyone, now let's hand it back to the main live broadcast. Thank you all.
Today we have opened the prologue of a new civilization. The Genesis node have ignited. The Ark's economy and governance mechanism are now officially running on the blockchain. This is not merely the birth of a token. It is the beginning of an entirely new order. A transparent treasury, disciplined token ensures governance beyond human control. Every promise is now sealed in code, irreversible and eternal. Just a moment ago, we witnessed together $15 million of liquidity cast into the black hole. With LP tokens burned forever, this is Ark's strongest declaration to the world. No backdoors, no way back, only forward. From this day on, the future of decentralized AI governance and the DFAI economy begins. Ark will carry our faith, courage, leading us towards an era with no boundaries. To every participant, thank you. Because of you, this civilization has set sail. Ark is united. The future unfolds from this very moment. Ark citizen, see you on June.